Hello, cucks. It's your boy, the hater. In my last video, I talked about the mistakes that WWE is making in who they are trying to attract to their company, right? In this video, I'm going to do the opposite, right? People really are dumb. I mean, it's really that simple. The neckbeard demographic fundamentally doesn't understand wrestling, but they're the ones that like to talk about it the most. Well, guess what, cucks? That's why we have the hater here, so the hater can come and lay the verbal smackdown on their fat candy asses, right? And that's what I'm going to do here, right? One of the topics that has been prominently discussed in YouTube videos that I've seen, right, in the comment section, because I don't really watch any YouTube videos on wrestling, right? But in the comment section, I've seen this sentiment a lot. Jade Cargill is green, and she has been pushed too soon, right? Which is fucking retarded, in my opinion, right? People preface this by saying Asuka and Kairi Sane can wrestle circles around her. First of all, here's your daily reminder that wrestling is not a real sport. Wrestling's a fake sport, so it doesn't matter who can do the move better, right? Nobody cares. The fact of the matter is, let's say Kairi Sane is better in the ring than Jade Cargill, which I'm not sure if that's true, to be honest, right? Kairi Sane botches like 90% of her moves. Kairi Sane is a shit wrestler, right? And this is also comes on the heels of Kairi Sane at Backlash didn't understand that she was not the legal woman, went for a pin. The referee yelled at her face, "No, you're not the legal woman." And Kairi Sane, because she doesn't understand what the fuck the referee said, she looks at him all confused and then goes for an armbar. And the referee, looking like a retard, has to say, "No, you're not the legal woman," right? And because Kairi Sane doesn't understand this, the match just goes on as if she were the legal woman. The referee just acquiesces to this. So I don't want to hear that Kairi Sane is better in the ring than anybody. Kairi Sane doesn't even understand what wrestling is. I fear, right? She doesn't get it. She doesn't understand what a tag is. I don't know, maybe in Stardom or whatever fucking bullshit promotion they have in Japan, maybe they don't do tags. In America, tag team wrestling is a big thing, and you tag the person. So she doesn't understand she's not the legal woman. She's the tag team champion. It was so bad that Corey Graves was like, "Oh, it's inexcusable that the tag team champion doesn't understand how tag team wrestling works," right? It's a big oversight, motherfuckers. So that right there, in my opinion, kills the entire, they could wrestle circles around Jade Cargill. No, they can't, number one. Two, if it was a real fight, Jade Cargill would destroy Asuka and Kairi Sane easily, and Bianca Belair. She would beat the shit out of all three of them. So there's that. And reason number three, the most important reason, I think personally, I speak for myself, of course, but I think most people too would prefer to see Jade Cargill doing anything than see Asuka and Kairi Sane do anything, right? Like, it's as simple as that. If you turn on the TV and you see all four of these women in the ring, like imagine you're watching wrestling with someone that doesn't know anything about wrestling, right? And you just turn on the match, and the match is like Bianca Belair's in the ring, Jade Cargill's in the ring, Becky Lynch is in the ring, Bayley's in the ring, Kairi Sane is in the ring, and Asuka's in the ring. If you're watching with someone that doesn't know anything, I guarantee you, 10 out of 10 people are going to be like, "Who's that tall one with the silver hair?" That's all they're going to say. No one's going to be attracted, like visually, to any of the other women because they're all regular people. Jade Cargill looks like a fucking Amazon, right? So you're going to be like, people are going to be like, "Oh, that one looks cool. Who's that?" Right? Same thing. If you have Brock Lesnar in the ring and you surround him with, I don't know, the Undisputed Era, right? And the two guys from ROH that are part of the Undisputed Elite, whatever the fuck they're called over there in AEW. If you have them all in the ring, people will be like, "Oh shit, who's that big muscular blonde one? Is he here to fuck the rest of these guys, right, into submission?" Because that's the only thing that makes sense here, right? Nobody would ask, "Oh, who's Bobby Fish?" Nobody would fucking care. You see what I'm saying? So for that reason alone, Jade Cargill is better than all these other broads. But people are so dumb, right? And it's not a matter of Jade Cargill being good or not being good enough, right? It's not that. And we all know it's not that. We all know it has nothing to do with her being green in the ring. Because at the end of the day, she manhandled Kairi Sane and she hit the Jaded on her. And that was the end of that, right? It was a believable finish. The problems people have is that indie mentality problem. Just because Kairi Sane in Stardom wrestled in front of 15 people, and she, as a result of this, had to help set up the ring because they don't have the budget to hire a ring crew, right? And she had to probably sweep the floors of the dojo because the dojo's a scam, right? Because of this, she's held to a higher esteem than Jade Cargill, who essentially is a female John Cena, or a female Batista, or a female Lashley, or a female any other person of worthwhile accolades. right? The idea is this. Kurt Angle, motherfucks, doesn't have to go to ROH and sweep the floors while he wrestles like Jigsaw, right? Kurt Angle doesn't have to go wrestle a guy who wears a baseball mask in Chikara, right? Kurt Angle's not going to do any of that shit. Kurt Angle's going to come to WWE and he's going to main event SummerSlam like 1 year before, like after his debut, and he's going to become the WWE champion, WWF champion. That's what Kurt Angle's going to do, all right? Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, Lashley, all these guys are not, they don't need to go to a dojo and kiss the feet of some fat-ass Japanese trainer or even worse, some fat-ass Samoan down in South Florida, right? They don't need to do this. That's for the Evan Bournes of the world. That's for fucking Adam Cole to do, right? That's for all these, that's for Jay Lethal to do. That's for Mustafa Ali to do. That's for the jobbers to do, right? Sami Zayn has to go and clean the toilet at ROH because Sami Zayn needs to stand out because there's 100 Sami Zayns. Right, so they're like, oh, let's put the guy in there. And then some other guy's like, well, why him and not me? Well, he cleaned the toilet. Sammy, get in here right now. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. Kevin Owens. They're like, oh, he set up the tables earlier. He's going to get a shot, right? John Cena, the people like John Cena and Jade Cargill don't set up tables. That work is specifically reserved for the Asukas and Kairi Sanes of the world, right? And hell, even the Bianca Belairs, right? Jade Cargill eats at a different table because she's built different. She is a star in the making, right? Like, don't be surprised when she becomes an actual star. People don't like it because the wrestling fans, the wrestling neckbeards, and your boy himself has been accused of this, right? Remember in the past, people said, they're like, oh, you didn't pay your dues. And I was like, what the fuck, pay my dues? How about kiss my ass? I don't have to pay my dues to anybody. This is what? What if I do is I can start a YouTube channel? Anyone can start a YouTube channel. Go there, click create, motherfucks, and say some shit just like I'm doing, right? Anyone can do it. You don't have to pay your dues. Same thing with wrestling. Why would Jade Cargill pay her dues, right? But people, they look down on her, right? They're like, well, Jade Cargill needs to go to NXT to develop. What? Jade Cargill needs to go and waste valuable years of her career, which can be monetized for a lot of money, wrestling Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, who to this day, I don't know which one's which. Are you fucking out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Jade Cargill needs to go and wrestle in a meaningless, like, 7-woman tag team match against Lash Legend and the other one from the Metaphor? No, motherfucks. Jade Cargill is better than that, right? You may have noticed that the wrestlers that are actually good don't have to go to NXT. They get just shot right up to Raw or SmackDown immediately, right? For example, AJ Styles, motherfuckers. He doesn't need to go to SmackDown because he's AJ Styles, right? He has a lot of experience wrestling on TV. He has a lot of experience wrestling in front of an American audience and wrestling American or Canadian or otherwise English-speaking wrestlers. So he doesn't need to go to NXT to fucking learn English, right? Like Nakamura does, right? He doesn't need to go to NXT to learn how to wrestle, basically, from stage one. He doesn't need to do that. The Good Brothers, they also got boosted to the main roster immediately, right? Now, even some jobbers, like Tama Tonga, right? And out of necessity, Tama Tonga and Camacho, they don't have to go to NXT, right? Now, everybody else has to go to NXT because everybody else is not that special, right? Even Drew McIntyre, even Matt Riddle, right? Even people that are good, right? They have to go to NXT because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, you're kind of a jobber. I need to see what improvements you've made, right? Cody Rhodes didn't have to go to NXT, so why the fuck should Jade Cargill, right? Oh, Jade Cargill, Cody Rhodes is better in the ring than her. So what? Who gives a flying fuck? Jade Cargill's not there to have a chain wrestling match. Jade Cargill should be booked like a female Kane. She should come in there, just do her 3 moves of doom, do a clothesline, hit the jaded, and pin someone while she sticks her ass in their face and flexes her bicep. That's what we want to see. You know, all I know is this. I personally think female wrestling is stupid, boring, and botchy, right? So either way, whether it's Jade Cargill or Becky Lynch, I don't care. They're both shit in terms of like their in-ring ability as far as I'm concerned. But I'd rather watch Jade Cargill because I know I'm going to be entertained just by looking at her and seeing like her manhandle people, right? And seeing her have personality and do the little bicep pose, right? Like Becky Lynch instead is going to wear goofy glasses, a silly hat, and do the rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem, motherfuckers. Jade Cargill doesn't need to go pay her dues. She just needs to go learn how to wrestle because wrestling's fake, right? The same reason that they're not going to disrespect Bad Bunny or Logan Paul or anybody else that can actually make that money by putting them in NXT They're not going to do the same thing with Jade Cargill. The idea is quite simple. If the WWE thinks they can make money off of you, you're skipping NXT. It's as simple as that. NXT exists so they can see if they can make money off of you. You go to NXT, and if they determine they can make money off of you, they'll put you on Raw, like Drew McIntyre. If they don't determine they can make money out of you, you're staying in NXT, Adam Cole. You're staying in NXT, Kyle O'Reilly, right? You're staying in NXT for like 10 years, Johnny Gargano, right? And when they need a body, you're going to be a jobber. That's what's going to happen. You're going to take you, you're going to be a jobber on the main roster if you're lucky to get there, right? That's how wrestling works. If there is a purpose for you on the main roster, like for example, like I said, if you're Camacho or Tama Tonga, then yeah, you're going to go directly to the main roster because they can use you. They can put you in an angle to make money, right? There's no reason to believe that fucking Tama Tonga is a better wrestler than, I don't know, Lexus King in NXT. In fact, I think he's a worse wrestler than Lexus King. But they can make money with Tama Tonga because they have a built-in program for him, right? Same thing with AJ Styles. Same thing with Cookie Rhodes. And same thing with Jade Cargill, motherfuckers. So all these haters that are upset that Jade Cargill didn't have to go to NXT, like Roxanne Perez, oh, Tiffany Stratton is a better wrestler and she had to go to NXT. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton has a pan face and is a little bit weird looking. I'm not saying she's ugly. She's obviously an attractive girl, but she's a little bit pan-faced. Let's be honest, right? Jade Cargill looks like she's made out of stone. Jade Cargill looks like a champion, motherfucker. That's the difference. Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, all these other broads, Bianca Belair, I'll throw her in there as well. They don't look like champions. They look like girls you might see at the gym. Jade Cargill looks like a champion. She look, not even that. She looks like a fucking star, motherfuckers. If you were to see Jade Cargill, like if you go to like IHOP, right, or a McDonald's or somewhere, and Jade Cargill walks in, everyone would stop what they're doing and look and be like, what the fuck? That's awesome, right? They'd be like, that's sick. Like they would say things like that. Like I'm sure some people would be like, oh, she's attractive, or she's jacked. People would be like, wow. Like she would give you that wow moment, right? Same thing with The Rock or Cena or Orton or these people, right? Like I've told the story before, but one time when I was a kid, Evolution was just like starting to be a thing, and I was watching Raw. My mom always hated wrestling, and there's a part where like Batista comes out with Ric Flair and Randy Orton starts cutting a promo, and my mom, who like obviously is older than Randy Orton, she's like, oh my God, who is that incredibly handsome guy? He looks like he should be on postcards, right? And it was Randy Orton, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he stands out. My mom, who like thinks all these people are dorks, right? She thinks that every wrestler's a loser. She's like, wow, look at that guy, right? She had a similar reaction to Roman Reigns. You see what I'm saying? It's understandable, right? Because these are stars, right? If my mom saw Sami Zayn, she'd be like, what the fuck? She would like laugh. You know what I'm saying? She's seen Cody Rhodes and she's like, I'm pretty sure this guy's gay. I don't know why they have him with a wife. Is that part of his gimmick? And I'm like, no, Mom, that's actually his wife. She's like, what? Oh, I just assumed he was gay because he has bleached blonde hair and he acts a little bit effeminate. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do, right? That's how it is. Jade Cargill, star. Cookie Rhodes, not a star. Simple as that, cucks.